Alright, this morning I'm gonna try to finish up my R1. Some things I want to do is change the air filter, spark plug, put the smog block off plate, and I got a quick shifter. It's from this HM. It's a new quick shifter that came out recently, and it's supposed to go to the spark plugs or something to cut the electricals for a quick second right before you shift. Okay, after you remove the side plastics and the tank bolt, it has these two side bolts right here which you have to remove on both sides. After you've propped the tank up, you have to remove the air filter bolts. Now that I've loosened all the screws, you want to disconnect this fuel line and this cable right here, and you disconnect it right there from the harness. And to disconnect this, you gotta pull it up and push these two blue tabs. Have some rag because gas will come out. Okay, after you disconnect the two, like I mentioned, you pull the orange tab up and squeeze the two sides of the blue firmly and just slide it out. Gasoline started coming out. This harness is disconnected. Now you proceed to removing the airbox bolts to remove the airbox. Okay, after you remove the airbox, this is how it's gonna look. These tabs right here connect to here, and these connect to over here. It's easy to take off. You just snap this out, put it down. Now you're gonna have 6 4mm bolts to remove. One's here, 2, 3, 4. Then the two front are hard to see. They're right here and right here. Just stick your T set in and unscrew it. Leave the screws in before you pull out. Okay, after you remove or unloosen all the 5mm bolts, which I've indicated prior, you want to take the airbox because it has tabs that holds the top in, so you want to kind of like push them in. You gotta disconnect this tube right here, and it should come right out. Okay, now that the airbox is out, we're ready to remove this air vent over here. I'm gonna do the famous R1 airbox modification with this line over here. I'm gonna take my razor and cut it off. What they say is once you cut it off at the line here, the funnel where the air comes up, it doesn't go up anymore. It goes directly into the air filter with less air restriction, so we'll be able to get some more horsepower. I forgot to mention, we gotta unplug this blue harness from the air duct and wiggle it free before we could remove the air duct. Okay, now that the air duct is free, you have to wiggle it out. This was like the hardest part of the job, wiggling the air duct from the system. Okay, this is the AIS. That's what we're gonna remove to do the block off plate mod. And from the air duct, you see these lines right here. I'm gonna cut it to do the airbox modification. I'm just gonna use a regular razor, pow, and cut this sucker right off. Make sure you cut on this line and not below these tabs, because these tabs hold the airbox in place. So if you cut them off, it won't lock. Just cut above on that little dotted line you see right there. It was that simple. I cut off the top. I don't need this anymore. Now the airbox modification is complete. Alright, this is the AIS, and basically you're going to remove these two bolts and these two bolts. Then you're going to push this tube right here out, and then you're gonna pull this whole unit off, and then after we're done, we're gonna put the block off plates on. You see this right here? This cap goes right over here where the AIS used to be plugged in. Okay, once you remove all the bolts that's holding down the AIS, just pull it up and it'll loosen out. Now you gotta fish this tube right here out. Just remove this so you don't scratch your frame, and just fish it through. And once you fish it through, just remove the whole AIS system. Again, the reason you remove the AIS is when you get rid of the cant, you don't really need the AIS. It's gonna help reduce the popping at deceleration. After you remove the AIS system, it looks like this. Now you just have to put the block off plates on and tighten the screws. Make sure you use Loctite on the bolts, because you don't want them loosening up while you're riding. Alright, I just finished installing the plugs. The right side plug was actually the hardest to do. It basically kicked my ass, just because I don't know if you could see if there's another light, but when you put the tool to remove the spark plug, the frame was getting in the way and I couldn't get it out, so I had to go through the air duct with the tool so I could remove it. The coils, I plugged in the quick shift already. It basically plugs, the wire basically plugs into the coil. Then you put the coils back, and then you connect the correct harness to the other side, and then you're done. After that, I have to run the wire to the side of the bike, connect the quick shift, and wire it to the back. And I think I'm almost done here. Alright, what I'm doing now is installing the quick shift. I put the air duct back. This is the modified air duct. Then I ran the quick shift wire down the side of the bike. I put the ground on the chassis, and now I'm putting the quick shift sensor onto the peg. Alright, with everything else you just have to do it in reverse order. I'm still working on the quick shift. The wires are nearly connected. I'm putting everything back. I'm up to the air filter. I stopped for a moment because you get confused which direction the filter is supposed to go in. BMC didn't really tell you, so sorry, wrong one. When I referred back to the original air filter, I saw two little tabs, and the dirty side, these two little tabs, hence the dirty side. So it goes this way. So we're gonna put this race air filter. I originally bought a K&N, but my tuner again said get a race air filter, and I have more power, so I said cool. And here she is, 4 hours later, everything complete. You need time to do something like this. I took it for a ride. Oh man, I didn't even get it dyno tuned yet, and it felt real good. So in the next week or so, 2 weeks, I'm gonna bring it to get dynoed, and she's gonna be like perfect. Look at that bling, man. Look at this bling. Dang, man. She's serious right now. She's serious. Steel braided line with the ECU reflash. I did not need the O2 sensor. Steel braided line again. The quick shift felt real good. I took it for a little spin, and I was at low RPMs, but the quick shift, it was pretty good. It shifts smooth. It's right now on low sensitivity, so it's hard to, not hard, but the shifting is not as easy. I'm gonna put it on default to see if it gets a little smoother to shift, but they tell you the quicker or more sensitive the shift, the more of a jerk you'll feel. Right now it's low sensitivity. I don't feel any jerk. It just goes right into gear real smooth. So I'm gonna try to put it in the medium to see if the shift level will be a little easier, or medium sensitivity, to see if I still get that smoothness and shift nicely. Well, that's it for this bike. There's nothing else to do with it. I've done everything except for the dyno tuning, which is not me. Alright, later.